Hello everybody, welcome back to Juju and Football. So it's game week 10 and I think game week 9 I think should be our best game week in terms of predictions. We had many go our way. So let's see if we can keep it up. So first we're going to go through this a bit fast. First game of the game week is going to be today, Friday night. That is Crystal Palace versus Tottenham. So this game last week I thought Fulham would get something out of Tottenham, but I was mistaken. If you watch the game, Fulham seemed like they could get something, but Tottenham just picked at their mistakes and the game was done. The difference with Fulham and Crystal Palace is the kind of football that they play. Crystal Palace are more, I believe, organized at the back. They'll sit in and be hard to break down. Tottenham be too much for Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace has no teeth in this game because two of their best players are out, and I don't see how they are going to pose a threat to Tottenham. So I think Tottenham will win this, but by a few goals, maybe 1-0 or 2-0. So I'll give that to Tottenham. On the weekend, that's tomorrow, the first game will be, so the second game of the game week will be Chelsea versus Brentford. So this will be an interesting one. You'd expect Chelsea to win this. Brentford are just finding their form again. They won against Burnley last week. Chelsea performed well against Arsenal, but they seem to do well against big teams and then struggle against lower teams. So I don't know. Maybe Chelsea can Chelsea win this? I don't know. I don't see that. So I'll give it a draw. I think Brentford are good on the break, and I think they'll get something out of Chelsea. Chelsea's defense can be lacking at times. So I think Brentford will get something out of Chelsea, so I'll give it a draw. Last season, by the way, Brentford-Chelsea, I think Brentford won the game, or it was a draw, something like that. So yeah, I think they'll get a point or more, so I'll give it a draw. The next game is Arsenal versus Sheffield United. So still, I think if Manchester United managed to get a win against them, and we are a funny team right now, you just never know what to expect from us, then I think Arsenal are going to get 3 points, easy 3 points. Maybe not too many goals in the game, but I think Arsenal will win this by maybe 2 or 3 goals. I don't see Sheffield United scoring. I think Arsenal are very organized at the back. So I think easy 3 points for Arsenal. Next game will be Bournemouth versus Burnley. So what I can say about this game is I think both teams will score goals, but I do not see who is going to win the game. So I'll give it a draw. I'll say a draw for this game. Then we can move on. Next game will be Wolves versus Newcastle. So last week we predicted Wolves to win, and it won against Bournemouth coming from behind. I think Gary O'Neill at the beginning of the season, I felt since they're just getting in the manager when the season is beginning, it's going to take them time to settle. It's going to take them time to know what they're trying to do. But then they've really played well from the first game. They were losing points, but they were really playing well and outperforming their results. So the performances, you would expect that they would have more points, but they're picking up now the points. I think there'll be, since they are at home, there'll be a problem for Newcastle. Newcastle at St. James's Park is a really big problem, but then away from home, I think they can be dealt with a bit better. So and they lost I think they lost in Dortmund 1-0. So I think Wolves have a chance to get something out of this game, and I think it will be a draw. Next, we have West Ham versus Everton. This is another tricky game. Everton, how did they perform last week? So West Ham are up and down in terms of results, but they are a good team. They are a threatening team. They lost their game last night against Olympiacos. So against Everton at home, I think they'll win this, but by small margins. Everton create chances, but they do not finish. They do not have finishers. So either this will be a draw or West Ham win this. So I would say West Ham win for this. The next is Aston Villa versus Luton Town. Another interesting game that I can say will be an easy win for Aston Villa. So Aston Villa have really been good. They put, is it 4 past what team was it last week? So I think they're playing really well. They are scoring goals. They have the best home record right now. So I think Luton Town won't be able to do much at Aston Villa's home. So I would give that to Aston Villa. Maybe not many goals in the game because Luton is organized at the back, so maybe 2 goals I would say. If Aston Villa score early, then maybe there would be more than 2, maybe 3 or 4 again, because they are really scoring goals at will. Then we have Brighton versus Fulham. So Fulham played well against Tottenham, but they didn't have a threat in front of goal. The striker that is in, is he called Vinicius or something like that? He's not really a threat. The Premier League is at his level if you look at it. Then the other striker he seems to be past it. He's also not really a threat. So that's the problem that Fulham has. They play well, but they don't have someone to put the ball in the back of the net. So I think Brighton will win this. They almost got a point against Manchester City last week. In this game, I think they'll win this game. So I'll give it a Brighton win. Then we have Liverpool. We have Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. I think this will be another tricky game. I think both teams will score. Liverpool's defense doesn't seem certain, but I think Liverpool will win because they have more of a threat in front of goal. So, and Salah is just on fire. He doesn't seem to be on fire, but he is on fire. And so I expect him to score again. And I'll say Liverpool to win this. Then the last game of the game week, which will be, I think, the game of the week, is the Manchester Derby, Manchester United versus Manchester City. So this, I would expect Manchester City to win this easily. And United is in a very funny place where they're playing poorly. They've picked up results, like if you look at the last 3 games they've played, they've picked up wins, but they have played poorly. And in a way, they've been lucky that they've not been playing against teams that have lethal strikers. So with Manchester City, if we are to play that poorly, I think they'll pick us apart and they'll win the game, I think, like in the first 20 minutes or something like that. But then I feel like because we are playing in the derby, or because we are playing a big team, our performance will go up levels a bit and it will be an interesting game. Maybe I'll give it a draw because Manchester City are winning games, but they are not at their best yet. So in the derby, maybe their levels also go up a bit, but then also we are good at counter-attacking, so we are going to get chances against them, and I'll give it a draw, or yeah, almost most likely it will be a Manchester City win, but then let's go with draw. And those are our games of the week. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share. Have a good one.